majority of us attribute success to brains and education. However, author Morgan Housel contends in the book The Psychology of Money that understanding human behavior is the key to financial success. In this video, we shall discover why people struggle to succeed financially, the innate human tendencies can assist us in achieving our financial objectives, and how to develop a financial strategy that is specific to us. So, let's review the key takeaways from Morgan Housel's book, The Psychology of Money. Lesson number 1. Do not ignore chance. Suppose we look at highly wealthy individuals like Bill Gates. In that case, we might infer that his business acumen was the driving force behind his enormous success at Microsoft and his diligent work ethic. And while those have may played a significant role in his success, we cannot ignore the reality that in 1968, Bill Gates was essentially one in a million teenagers with access to a school computer. Without the help of this opportunity, he may not have developed the early computer skills necessary to have the significant competitive advantage that he did. According to Housel, ignoring that chance plays a vital role in these success stories can be risky because many attempts to get wealth by copying some of the most outstanding and successful people in the world without having all the necessary components. Therefore, trying to accomplish the same thing they did frequently fails. According to Housel, the more extraordinary the story, the more unusual the conditions contributed to its achievement. Housel advises paying attention to patterns rather than concentrating on specific individuals. If many affluent people followed strategy A to become wealthy, whereas only one followed strategy B, you might have a better chance of becoming rich by doing strategy A. You must know who to listen to and to start spotting these patterns, which brings us to our next lesson, which is don't confuse being rich with being wealthy. Housel gives us another explanation for why people struggle to succeed financially. We conflate having money with being prosperous. He says that having a lot of money in the bank or various assets qualifies as wealth. In other words, wealth is the money you have access to but have not used. Having a big salary is all that it takes to be wealthy. According to Housel, it's pretty simple to determine when someone is rich, but it's difficult to decide whether or not they are wealthy. Wealth is invisible, which explains why. You can see how much someone spent, but you can't tell how much money they have in their savings or investment accounts. Understanding the distinction between wealth and riches is crucial because as humans, we learn through imitation. Knowing who to imitate and more importantly, who not to imitate can help us safeguard our riches. Lesson number 3. Money buys control over time. Exciting research by psychologists revealed that having a sense of control is one of the critical factors in happiness. One of the main drivers of achieving financial success is this. Once you do have control, you decide what to do and when to do it, and you control your time. Here, control is an important term. We truly revolt against our lives when we don't feel in control of them. Reactants are a type of psychological phenomenon. At this point, our brains work to retake any control we may have already lost or fear that we may lose. If you experience a sense of reactance, this may indicate that your actual human conduct is already attempting to bring you under control. To create a plan for what financial success means to you, it can be helpful to comprehend the idea that happiness has to do with control, especially over time. And what you need to do brings us to the following point, which is when is it actually enough? Shiny items and the promise of wealth beyond our wildest dreams can make it very easy to become sidetracked if happiness is our objective or financial strategy is how we will accomplish it. In today's world, the possibilities are endless, and one thing that contemporary capitalism excels at is inciting jealousy and wealth. One is outstanding, the other not so much. Housel claims that people start engaging in dangerous and frequently borderline unlawful behaviors when they become swept up in the prospect of enormous money without generally having a strategy for what they desire. Innumerable instances of people who had considerable fortune lost it all because they were merely trying to outdo the competition. In addition to making you happy, as numerous psychological studies have shown, avoiding the comparison trap can also help you avoid financial risks that can make you less well off in the long run. Lesson number 5. Turn saving money into a habit. According to Housel, there are 3 key reasons why developing a practice of saving money is crucial. The first one is that wealth is money you don't use. Conserving money helps you build wealth. 2. Everything is in your hands. The financial world is full of uncertainties. One entirely in your power is keeping some of the money you make. The third option is the most straightforward approach to amassing wealth. It's far simpler to save some money than to increase your salary. This does not imply that you should not work to increase your income, but rather that you should also develop the practice of saving money even if your income is currently low. By doing this, you can prevent starting as a wealthy man rather than increasing your income. You develop the habit of getting rich. Giving yourself more attention than external expectations is a crucial behavior that Housel advises. In other words, give up caring about what others think. Housel contends that excessive spending results from our unhealthy concern for what people think of us. Housel adds that you no longer spend money on yourself after paying for a few luxuries and essential needs. you're providing for other people, for their needs, or simply to demonstrate how much money you have. Lesson number 6, the psychology of compounded interest. An often discussed instrument in the context of investing in wealth creation is compound interest. To refresh your memory, compound interest is when you receive interest on your principal, the money you initially invested, and the interest you have already received. For instance, if you have $1,000 financed at a 10% annual return, you will receive $100 in interest the first year. With this added to your principal, your total now stands at $1,000. Your 10% will bring in $110 in year 2. You'll make $121 in year 3, and you will earn $133 in the 4th year, and so forth. Compound interest is straightforward to understand mathematically. Still, we can fully benefit from compound interest by regulating our conduct in the investment sector to assist us in maximizing our money's earning potential, while keeping it comparatively secure. According to Housel, time is the most crucial element in compound interest, even more so than annual interest rates. Beginning with our initial $1,000 investment, there's no sense of excitement. That is the critical point. It is difficult to imagine that simply waiting can produce prominent figures, even if we know how compound interest functions. Instead, we attempt to generate impressive numbers by devising and applying other techniques, such as trading or doing margins. But as history has shown, this frequently produces unsatisfactory outcomes. This is because everything in the world of investing has a price. The US stock market's annual return averages between 7 and 10%. This can be regarded as a safe and anticipated return. This means that those who attempt to outperform the market may be able to achieve a better return, but at a much higher risk of losing their entire investment. According to a 2020 report by Business Insider, nearly 80% of mutual funds that are actively managed failed to outperform the market. Additionally, these are experienced investors. In other words, rather than paying professional investors to try to beat your need, you would have been better off investing your money in an S&P 500 index fund. This is why Housel advises focusing on a reliable, steady return over time rather than trying to locate investments with the highest returns, because it ultimately generates the highest income over the long term. By the way, the $1,000 we previously invested at a 10-yearly return will increase to almost $45,000 in 40 years without even trying. Lesson number 7, plan for things to go wrong. Making plans for the worst-case scenario is the last crucial component of any sound financial strategy. Doing this allows you to remain in the market long enough to benefit from compounding. It is made feasible by continuing to invest for a long time. According to Housel, most people simply prepare for the best-case situation regarding their finances, which is frequently susceptible to unfavorable circumstances. You put yourself at risk if your financial strategy only works under specific circumstances. A sound financial process considers the possibility that many things won't go your way, but you'll still succeed. A solid financial system should contain 2 key components. 1. Don't ever stake your entire money. Housel advises investing only a fraction of your funds at any time and refraining from taking any risks. It can protect against potential losses that your investments might experience by keeping some of your money in cash. Even if you aren't getting paid for it, saving cash on hand might avoid losing decades or even years worth of money when misfortune strikes. For instance, if you lose your job during a recession and don't have any cash on hand, you could have to sell stocks at a significant loss to survive. This might reverse years of market gain and put you in a terrible situation. Having cash on hand in an emergency fund can also help you take advantage of difficult economic times, which could hasten the growth of your wealth. 2. It is to never rely on just one thing. Always have a backup strategy in place in case battle X occurs. Do you, for instance, have a backup plan in case you lose your job, or if the market is performing poorly, do you have a plan? Benjamin Graham claims that you cannot forecast the direction of the market or the economy in his book, The Intelligent Investor. Therefore, avoid attempting to foresee it. He advises creating a margin of safety so you can be wrong and still make money. In conclusion, don't discount chance, contrast being wealthy with being rich, identify the primary reasons for your desire for money, find out how much will make you happy, make saving money a priority, recognize how to benefit from compound interest, and prepare for the worst. That's pretty much it, guys. After watching this video, I hope your viewpoint will shift and make you wiser financially. Please leave a like, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.